Hey, what's up? D-Log, D-Log, D-Vlog. I forgot what I call it. It's been like a couple months since I've done a video like this where I just talk to the camera and give like a log of what I did today. And which is weird, 'cause I do it very often, but it's like for some reason my head is an internal representation of these specific videos, even though they're very similar to everything else. Point is, today was very simple, right? It wasn't anything complex. I actually think I don't think it's an unproductive day, but like the only things that were really done was I worked on the Star Labs website, which I'll talk about in a second, made rice for the family, got a haircut really nice. And later today, I'm planning to do some preparation for an interview I have tomorrow. So that's just gonna be going through some of my projects, getting like a full understanding, as well as just like working on some SQL stuff. But besides that, it was just like a chill day. Very simple, very simple. And that's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like I could have done a bit more. But to be fair, like when I was planning the day ahead, like today, that was like my plan, just work on the website and do like interview stuff, even though like it's not a hard thing to do. Anyways, with the website, the Starlabs website, what I thought was interesting was that Starlabs is in a very infant. I actually think it's like I don't even know if it's like even conceived yet. Like Star Labs, I think it's much closer to an idea than it is an actual like runny startup. I think the reason I say this because I haven't made that much progress with the research yet, like to have anything publishable, and that's not to say like it's stagnating. It's a very much good position, but I think with a website, there was a question of if it's even worth it to have a website in the stage I am right now. I think the only reason I decided to go with a website is one, it actually gives me encouragement to keep on going, to have something visible to see that this is what I'm pursuing. But two, a lot of the time I think people just like to see what's going on. Say if it's very early on, it's like, okay, maybe someone says, hey, I saw a tweet about like Star Labs. Like, I wonder what they're doing. Like a couple months later, like, oh, dang, they're doing XYZ. And I'm really interested. I have a bunch of money. Here's this money to go do XYZ, one, two, three. And that's the idea. And because of that, I went through the website to make sure there's like no dead links, no bugs. Because on the phone, what's happening with the nav bar was that you have like the hamburger, the nav bar wasn't working as properly as intended. So I had to fix that and make some other design choices like the mission statement, the first blog post and all that. I'm gonna edit later on with the blog post because to be honest, it's very just like it's ChatGPT to be fair, Claude code, but it doesn't really reflect my internal thoughts. I don't want to be a group that outputs stuff that are um below our standard, right? I don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to take some time, sit down, synthesize some thoughts about like representations, be it meshes, Gaussians, or like video-based models versus 3D-based world models, but actually I have something that's worthwhile for people to read. Um, but it was nice. I think what I like about the whole website thing and what I was doing even before the website was actually designing like a poster. Like a couple of days ago, I was designing a poster for the World Labs and Big Think AI hackathon. And what I like about that is I have the skills to do that. With the website, to be fair, like it's a lot of cloud code, but like to even be able to make the design choices, I think that requires a certain eye. And as the term taste becomes much more prominent in the whole conversations about AI and AI startups and businesses, I do think it's been nice to see that artistic background really come into play because it's not something where it's like, oh, I just know you just know what to do. It's like something you have to really practice. It's like with drawing. Drawing is like some skill reserved for a few. It's just a skill that you have to like practice every day, practice anatomy and stuff like that. I think with taste and just like being able to like know how a website should look or how a poster should look, that's something you get through practice. So I know I've made like over maybe 30, 40, 50. That's a lie. I've made a couple posters in my lifetime, and through those posters, I've been able to say, okay, how should this look? Where's something off? And um, even because of that, like even now I know how I enjoy certain things. And that's not something that's like it seems simple, but it's actually really hard to understand why you like something. Right? Like I'm able to say I like this thing because of like these specific small details, and now I know how to go implement that in my own thing. So when I'm critiquing my work, I know where exactly something feels off. I think that's something that's been really cool to see play out with this website, especially today. You know, it was cool. It was cool. The rice was nice. Not bad. And the haircut was also pretty nice. I think with the interview, I'm not going to stress too much. I'm going to obviously practice because it's at 3:30, so I have some time. But I'm not going to do it in such a way where I build a mentality that this is do or die. Because I think when I do that, what happens is I speak too fast and then I say things I don't need to even say. Right? Like I've noticed I have a tendency to ramble on. especially in interviews where like, oh, like the conversation is obviously treading towards one way, and I feel like since I have this thing stored in my memory, I have to get it out, but it's actually not relevant to where the conversation is going or where it currently is. And I think that's the result of stress. So I think I'm really just gonna take a much more not lax but much more calm approach to it, because it's like it's not impossible. It's really just, hey, tell us about your projects, which I know a lot about and I would love to talk about in depth, and just do some SQL stuff, which I was actually doing in the previous semester, which was pretty fun. So nothing crazy there. Star Labs, just to close this off, Star Labs really excited. The website's working. Um, After some interview stuff, I might try and like get some work done on the Star Labs research for the native world model game engine representation, where it currently is, if anyone's interested at this point in time on March 17th, 8:57 p.m. With the representation, I'm trying to do the mess plus Gaussians. Gaussians are meant to like have these physics and butannes, so have other properties. But I got to work with elastic bodies, but I'm trying to get to work with rigid bodies and fluid bodies. Right now, I'm working on the fluid bodies to see how would that be done. However, it's not working really well. Basically, what happens? Think of a ball of water and it's dropping down, right? And then it's about to hit the ground, it just blows up. Like that's basically what's happening right now. So I want to investigate why that's happening, and go through my proper procedure to make sure I log all my notes, all my big errors, and then just solve it. And then maybe by the time I'm done with this, I should have a workshop paper that I can submit to different workshops, whether it's CGRAPH or CVPR. But that could be something I'll post on the Star Labs website, just to like put some suitability. I don't think that's a word, but like put like some layer like, hey guys, these guys have actually done something and it's worth checking out. So that's where I am with that. Besides that though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.